Right, are you still there? Good. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're now walking a bit further forward in the general direction of the Royal Festival Hall, which is now all that remains of the Festival of Britain. It's a concert hall, ladies and gentlemen, built with the Festival of Britain. Let's go round. Just down here, there's a lift that will take you up to the bridge. You've got these footbridges here. They're called the Jubilee footbridges, the Jubilee walkway, and they were set up here in 2002 to mark the 50th anniversary of the Queen's accession. Right, from here you can look across the river and let's just see, you can see Cleopatra's Needle, which is an ancient Egyptian obelisk carved in 1485 BC for the pharaoh Tutmosis III, and it stood in the sands of Egypt for hundreds and hundreds of years, and eventually it was presented to the British government by the Viceroy of Egypt as a token of gratitude for the achievement of Admiral Horatio Nelson at the Battle of the Nile, the liberation of Egypt. So they gave us this. They gave us the obelisk, and then the question was, okay, well, how do we take it back down to take it away? So eventually they had to take it away, and they put it up here in 1878. Behind it, you've got Shelmake's house, and you can see the clock. Now that clock is actually rather larger than the clock on the tower at the House of Parliament. So you've got the bell called Big Ben. That clock is sometimes known as Big Benzine. I suppose that's a joke. You may not find it very amusing, but anyway, that's what it's called from time to time, Big Benzine. Oh, I always like having a look at these maps just to see where we're going and where we've come from. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. This is the Royal Festival Hall, one of the great concert halls of the world, and we've had many famous people who've performed here over the years, including people like the Beatles and Elton John, Frank Sinatra, Pink Floyd, David Bowie, Nina Simone, Ella Fitzgerald, Led Zeppelin, Bob Dylan, the Rolling Stones, Jimi Hendrix, Louis Armstrong, Joan Baez, Luciano Pavarotti, Bruce Springsteen, and Beyonce, and many others have performed here. So it holds almost 3,000 people, and it's typical of the architecture of the early 1950s, with these very wide windows and the extensive use of concrete. Here, as I say, if you look across, you can see the footbridge. There are two footbridges on either side of the rail bridge, and along the footbridges you get excellent views. Now I'll go down there sometime, not now. What I want to do is move further down here in the general direction of the Royal National Theatre. So, I mean, this is just to give you an idea. This is really this is London at leisure. This is just people walking up and down, relaxing and enjoying themselves, enjoying the weather. It's lovely here on a nice warm sunny day. It's not so bad even on a day like this. It's a good idea to keep wrapped up. And having seen the Charing Cross rail bridge, the next bridge we are approaching is Waterloo Bridge, which commemorates the Battle of Waterloo of 1815 and the victory of Wellington over Napoleon Bonaparte, the Battle of Waterloo. And the bridge was struck by a bomb in 1942, so it was completely out of commission. They had to knock down the rest of the bridge and rebuild it, and they keep saying it was actually built by women, mostly women, because men at that time were off at the battlefront, and so women had to be involved in the building of the bridge. So that's why they call it sometimes the Ladies' Bridge. Okay, and here we're underneath the Queen Elizabeth room, the Purcell room, and this is an ideal ground for skateboarding, and it has been ever since skateboarding became a thing in the early 80s. So they've been skateboarding here for 45 years. Can you imagine it? Well, okay, so let's say 40 years. No, let's say 45. A bit longer than that, actually. Almost 50 years. Can you imagine it? You have 60-year-olds now in London who would have been skateboarding here when they were teenagers. It's just a little bit after my time. Skateboarding came in when I was in my late 20s, and I was never very attracted to it, actually, but obviously it wasn't just a passing fad. It's something which has endured, and it's probably the best use they could make of this building. The Queen Elizabeth room and the Purcell room, this is where you're going to listen to modern music if you want to listen to modern music, which I don't. So yes, that's the best use. And this is all what they call concrete brutalism. The architects thought that they would save money by building these concrete buildings, which are really horrible, and they haven't weathered well in the British weather. They look dreadful. Now, just underneath Waterloo Bridge, some very enterprising people have set up bookstalls where you can buy books. And other curiosities, I suppose. So this is just to show you the sort of things that you can buy if you're tempted to come down here and buy them. Oh, Rupert annuals going back a while, yes. They've got some very high-class stuff down here. I mean, but they've also got old Penguin books, which can be really very interesting. Now here, you just say goodbye to the bookstores down here. Here on the right hand side you have the National Theatre, which is the Royal National Theatre. They're not calling it Royal National Theatre. I wonder if it's been, whether they've actually just ditched the royal status. I used to call it the National Theatre, then somebody said it's not the National Theatre anymore, it's the Royal National Theatre. So I said, oh, I'll remember that in future, and now it just says National Theatre, so I don't know what's going on. This is a statue of Sir Laurence Olivier, who was very much involved with the creation of the National Theatre. We didn't have a National Theatre in Britain, strange as it may seem. We had theatres in this country going all the way back beyond the time of Shakespeare. And then we had a flourishing theatre industry, but we never had a national theatre, not an official theatre, until I'll tell a lie, 1950s. I think in 1959 they created the National Theatre in the old Vic, which is just a little distance from here. I won't go down there at the moment. And then the National Theatre Company moved into this building here, which you see, and there are actually 3 auditoria, one of which of course is called the Olivier Theatre. So they've got 3 plays going at the same time. Again, this is a building which is made entirely out of, well, not entirely out of concrete. It looks very ghastly from the outside. It's not so bad. Let's see if we can go inside. I don't normally allow people with video equipment to go inside the building. They get rather shirty, so if they tell us to scram, I shall go without any protest. But I think it's worth taking a chance just to get a quick idea of what it's like inside. It's really quite nice, quite pleasant. And also, the thing about this is that, you know, they have got places where you can go and get tea and coffee, and there are toilet facilities if you need toilet facilities, so it's one of those sort of useful places to know about. Now this is gives you an idea of the interior of the theatre. Okay, that's not so bad, is it? Everyone is welcome. Right, everyone is welcome. So that's nice. Everyone is welcome. Okay, good. So yes, you can get tea, coffee. You can go and get. You can go use the toilet facilities if you need the toilet facilities. You can even buy a ticket and go and see a play. Now here, we've got some more bronze statues. Here we go. London Pride, Frank Dobson, CBA, RA, 1880 to 1963, commissioned for the Festival of Britain. Right. Okay. So this is the Royal, the mustn't call it the Royal National Theatre if it's not called the Royal. It's just called National Theatre now. It used to be called Royal National Theatre. It was once very important to use the word royal, but obviously not so much now. It's, 14 minutes into this video. I'm just wondering whether it's getting to be a bit too long. Point is, there isn't a sort of natural breaking point here. Or I'll tell you what we'll do. As we walk down here, you'll see, as we're walking along the south bank of the River Thames, coming into view in the distance on the north bank is St Paul's Cathedral with the glorious dome of St Paul's Cathedral. I think that is a good point to break for the time being. We'll leave it here for the time being and come back. Now, it may not be today, it may be another day, but I will start from this point.